Well, my story is a different kind of story. When I was 17 years old, I graduated from Mercy High School in Omaha, Nebraska. Do you all mind if I do this?
Do you need sunglasses?
I can't see you. Now and again in our high school, the girl would go away. Yeah, that's better. This girl would go away for maybe 6 months, and we would all know. She'd gone to visit her aunt in Grand Island or South Platte, Nebraska, someplace far enough away. We never went and checked on her. And we might have talked about birth control at my high school, but I kind of don't think we did. I don't recall it. Most of us felt that when we graduated, it wouldn't be long before we were married and had a baby. And our mothers all hoped we'd make a good catch, marry a man who was a good provider. We'd have a nice house, maybe somebody we could hire to keep it clean. So this was the way I went through high school. And when I came to California to go to college, I kind of became a feminist. And at that time, a feminist was someone who advocated for equal rights as far as employment and salary was concerned. And that was a big concern of mine, to make enough money to live. And that was, more or less the key issue. And so when I was in the Bay Area, I was also interested in protesting the war. That was a big, it was an important spiritual journey for me to protest the idea of killing. And I also protested the death penalty because I didn't want to think about executing anybody. So these were the two issues that were very key to me at that time. I was a feminist. No one really talked about abortion that much at that time. So, fast forward a few years, and I have a daughter and 2 sons. And I wanted my daughter to also share my feminist views. So believe it or not, I don't know if it was Dr. Spock or not, but they advocate, don't give your daughter baby dolls. And when you go to Gemco, buy some cars and some erector sets and buy some other things besides these little baby dolls. Do any of you remember that? So, my solution to that was, I bought my daughter all sorts of stuffed animals. And I thought that was, a good compromise. And instead of having a dollhouse, I made this little tree stump, which all kinds of little animals could live inside. So you see where I'm going with this. I was doing what I thought was a really good thing to raise my daughter, to think that she could choose any profession she might want, and that motherhood would not be the single and only option for her to live a rich and fulfilled life. So, fast forward about 20 years, and I'm helping my daughter through medical school. Wow, I was so proud. It was wonderful. I did everything I could to help her through, with some money, lots of support, hearing phone calls like, I can't do this organic chemistry at all. It was all there, all the trauma, all the trials, and all the things she went through to become a doctor. Now we're going to fast forward again to the Trump election. That wasn't that many years ago, it seems like a century. Anyway, Trump was elected. And the following January, we had a big women's march. I had a pink pussy hat. So I marched with everyone that day, and all around me were women carrying abortion I was surprised because I wasn't there for that. I always thought of being a feminist as, I didn't even think that was the keynote issue. I think of equity as far as salary is concerned as affecting more women somehow. I always had that in mind, but equal pay for equal work. So after going through that march, and I'm kind of looking around saying, God, am I in the right place? I'm not sure about this. I met my daughter at Mount Shasta. She's a doctor up in Portland, and we have a little rendezvous spot at Mount Shasta. Then halfway, it's about a week after the march. So I'm telling her, oh God, I forgot an important part of my story. Can I go back? Jeez. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, when she's graduating from medical school, she said, Mom, they offer training in the procedure to perform abortions. You can take it or not. I chose not to take it because I don't want to do abortions, so I'm not going to take it. I was surprised. I'd never talked about it with her, and I didn't even think about it that much, but I was glad. And I said, good. That's the part I forgot. I forgot to tell you that part. Back to after President Trump is elected, and we're meeting in Mount Shasta. 30 more seconds. Well, she says, Mom, I know you felt uncomfortable in that march, but I did take that training, and I do abortions. It was a shock. I hardly knew what to say or think or feel. And she was so incredibly angry while she was telling me. Furiously angry. So I'm saying, it's not the same between us anymore. I really don't know what to make of it. Because I love my daughter and she loves me. We love each other. And we need to find a way to go on. We don't agree. It's important. But I'm committed, and I'm sure she is too, to find a way to go on. And that's my story.